This is going to be a story time of how me and my friends waged war on the nastiest girls at my high school. After watching all of the parts, you get to decide who won this war. And just a heads up, this will probably be the nastiest story time that I've ever posted. Let's get right into it. So at my high school, there was these group of girls that would keep themselves dirty so they could get attention from the boys. They would never take showers. They would always come to school stankin'. It was so bad to the point where if you were in class with them, the teachers would have to open up all the windows and leave the door wide open so the smell could drift out. Like, it was that bad. You really could have passed out. The school went as far as holding an assembly about how important hygiene is, just because of these girls. Now, these girls stayed together as a clique, and they were on the track team, and me and my friends were also on the track team. Our coach encouraged us to take showers after practice, but she couldn't force us. But she made it clear that she wanted us to take showers. Those girls wouldn't take full-on showers. They just get in the water for like 5 seconds and then get out. So one day, me and my friends decided that all those girls were in the shower, we were going to pour soap and shampoo all over them, like for part 2. This is going to be part 2 of how me and my friends waged war on the nastiest girls at our high school. As you could imagine, track practice sucked because of how bad they smelled. And mind you, they barely contributed to the track team. There were those girls that always pretended like they had an injury so they didn't have to practice. It was embarrassing, like, why are you here? And so after practice, while they were taking their 10-second showers, me and my friends took bottles of soap and shampoo and poured it all over them. This made them like cuss us out. They were extremely angry, but they didn't do anything. So some time passes by, and one of my friends had told me that her boyfriend had gave her an STD. So she's thinking, he didn't have this STD before, and all of a sudden he has one. So where did he get it from? Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, one of those stankin' wankin' girls that we poured soap and shampoo all over starts posting on her story, and she says, and I quote, "You say I'm dirty, but your boyfriend doesn't think any less of me, so what does that make you?" Eventually, my friend's boyfriend admitted to her that he had cheated on her with one of those girls. And it wasn't just the two of them. It was all those girls, my friend's boyfriend, and some of his friends. It was like a fivesome. This is going to be part 3 of how me and my friends waged war on the nastiest girls at our high school. So like I said, those girls that never took showers had gotten a train ran on them by one of my friend's boyfriend and some of his friends. This pissed my friend off so bad, she was acting out of character. And I say out of character, I'm talking about this girl was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna poison her. I'm gonna run this bitch over." At the time, it seemed excessive, but just wait until you hear the whole story and you'll understand why it would have been justified. So my friend had asked her ex-boyfriend why he did what he did. He said that they didn't smell bad at the time and it was just spur of the moment. But he knew that his own girlfriend did not like those girls. My friend would talk shit about those girls to him. And it's the fact that he still had the audacity to put his dingling in my friend after he had ran a train on those girls. Like, that's disrespectful. And so to get back at these girls, my friend decided that she was going to stay in the locker room for track practice after all the girls left the locker room. And she took a piss on all of those girls' clothes. This led to one of the girls getting a rash that got really bad to the point where she had to be hospitalized. Trust me, you're gonna want to like for part 4. So this is gonna be part 4 of the time my friends and I waged war on the nastiest girls at our high school. So after my friend had pissed on those girls' clothes for giving her an STD, one of the girls got a really bad rash for wearing those clothes and had to be hospitalized. Now, I would have said that my friend went too far if it wasn't for this. So my track team ended up going on a camping trip, and the coach told those girls specifically that if they wanted to go on the camping trip, that they were gonna have to be hygienic. They were gonna have to take full-on showers, they were gonna have to brush their teeth, they're gonna have to bring a change of clothes, and me and my friends had hoped that they weren't going to come on this camping trip so we could have our fun. But they actually agreed to being hygienic, and so they came on the camping trip. I'm still taken aback at the events that happened on this camping trip. So we're on the camping trip, we're like the 3rd day in. We sat around the campfire and made s'mores, and then we all went to sleep in our tents. Me and my friends, we all shared a tent. All my friends were asleep, but I wasn't asleep yet, I was still drifting asleep, and then I heard somebody open our tent. It was kind of dark, but I could still make out who it was, and it was one of those girls me and my friends were beefing with. She gets to where my friend is sleeping and squats down, and she takes a shit right on my friend. This is gonna be part 5 of the time my friends and I waged war on the nastiest girls at our high school. Like I said, we're on a camping trip, and my friends and I are all sleeping in a tent. One of those girls we're beefing with comes into the tent, squats down on one of my friend's faces, and takes a shit right on her face. Mind you, she thought that I was sleeping, so once I screamed at her, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" she gets up and runs out of the tent. This girl is butt-ass naked, okay? My friend eventually wakes up, and she's smacking her lips like, "What is that taste?" And I'm telling her, like, do not swallow. Whatever you do not swallow. And I'm like, "Girl, it's just some chocolate from the s'mores we made earlier." I was trying to get her not to freak out because she was going to mollywop Miss Butt Naked Nasty. She eventually figures out what it is, and she's like, "Is this some type of sick joke?" And so I'm telling her, "No, bitch, who the fuck do you think I am?" So I run out the tent, and then I see one of those girls, like, fast walking towards the woods, and she's looking behind her, and then she sees me. So I start running after her, and she starts dashing through the woods. I'm cussing her out like, "Bitch, you're fucking nasty, fuck is wrong with you? Eventually our coaches hear the noise and they wake up like for part 6. This is gonna be part 6 of the time my friends and I waged war on the nastiest girls at our high school. Like I said, after I'm chasing this girl for taking a shit on my friend's face, I'm cussing her out, running behind her. Eventually I lose her in the woods and I have to walk back to where we were camping. Our coaches had woken up at that point and they were talking to my friend who had shit all over her face. She was telling them like, I don't even know what's going on. And so once they saw me, they were asking me like, what's happening? And I'm basically telling them everything that happened. And so the coaches start looking for this girl. Eventually they find her butt naked somewhere. They called that girl's parents and then my friend's parents to let them know what had happened. And my friend's mom decided that she did not want my friend on the camping trip anymore. So they cut the camping trip short, and for the rest of the time, they kept that girl and my friend separated. Just so you guys know, me and my friends could not beat up those girls because we were athletic academic scholars, bitch. They are not worth it. But once we went to school again, the school ended up expelling all of those girls. And it's because my friend's complaint about them was kind of the last straw. They had so many complaints about their hygiene, how dirty they were, so the school was just kind of like, okay, we're done with y'all. That was the end of it. Who do y'all think won this war? Story time of the sickest I felt in my whole life. You might want to hold your breath for this one. My boyfriend and I had been dating for like 8 months or so. I had my own place, so I let him move in with me. One day, my best friend decides that she wants to become a hairdresser, and so she started taking clients and doing people's hair. I became one of her clients because she did hair really good, and she didn't charge me as much because I was her bestie. Whenever I needed her to do my hair, she would come over to my place. Well, over time, my best friend and my boyfriend began to become closer. I didn't think anything of it because I trusted my best friend and my boyfriend. Sometimes my best friend and my boyfriend would be alone together because if she was doing my hair that day and I wasn't home, I would make my boyfriend open the door for her. She could just go ahead and walk on in, get her stuff set up, and then once I was there, she could do my hair. Like I said, I trusted them enough, so I wasn't worried about it. Bitch, I should have been worried about it. One night, my boyfriend tells me that he's gonna be working a little late that night. So, I'm like, okay, that's fine. So that night, I was just sitting on my bed scrolling through my social. Then I opened Snapchat. I'm watching my best friend's story, and she had made a brand new private story. She added me to that story, and there was a picture of my best friend and my boyfriend in bed together. This is gonna be part 2 of the sickest I felt in my whole life. The pain in my chest when I saw the picture of my best friend and my boyfriend in bed together. I started heaving. I was wheezing, like, so I was thinking to myself whether I should slide up and say anything, or if I should pull up to her house and whoop her ass. They had to have been at her house because that man had no place to go. That's why he was living with me. This man is over here homie hopping. Meanwhile, he don't even got a home. Although I was very upset, I was surprisingly calm. I decided that I'm not gonna pull up and beat both of their asses. I decided that I was just gonna take his stuff and throw it out the door. And as I'm walking to his room, I hear what sounds like a window is opening. And it sounds like it's coming from my boyfriend's room. So I keep walking to his room to check out whatever this sound is. I walk in there, and there my best friend and my boyfriend are sleeping on the bed that I bought him in my house. Bitch, like for part 3. This is gonna be part 3 of the sickest I felt in my entire life. Like I said, I walked in the room and saw my best friend and my boyfriend sleeping. I'm like, okay, we taking naps, bitch, in my fucking house. Let's take a fucking nap, then I'm gonna put both of y'all to sleep. So my boyfriend actually looked like he was sleeping, but I could tell that my best friend was faking it. She had just posted that snap only 10 minutes ago. It was clearly intended for me to see. So I walk up to the bed. I go over to where my boyfriend is sleeping, and when I tell you, I smacked the shit out down there, whack that yuck. Like I was trained for it. Meanwhile, my best friend's over there like, oh my god. I'm like, bitch, I'm about to get to you. But right now, we focusing on him. But I'm gonna get to you, I promise. So I lift the covers off of them, and I see that they're both naked. So that's really when I started pouncing on him, scratching him, biting him, all that good stuff. Meanwhile, my best friend's over there trying to put her clothes on so she could go. Girl, you ain't going nowhere. Because after I was done pouncing on him, I charged towards her. Like for part 4. This is gonna be part 4 of the sickest that I felt in my whole life. So I had just gotten done beating up my boyfriend after catching him with my best friend. As I was beating up my boyfriend, my best friend was getting herself together so she could go. Like, where are you going home, girl? Our business isn't finished here, bestie. So I charge towards her and she's ready because she knows I don't play that. And she puts up her fists. I run up to her, she tries to swing, dodged it. I grab her hair and I drag her to the door. Maybe not the bedroom door. The front door. Dragged her all the way out and kicked her out the door. I locked the door, then I went back to my boyfriend's room, cussed him out a little more, and started packing his stuff up for him. I tell him that he has one day to get all of his stuff and leave, or else I'm burning it. I cut my friend off completely because she did some weird ass shit. I don't know why she would do anything like that, and I wasn't about to ask questions because I didn't give a fuck. My boyfriend was over there trying to beg me to stay, trying to say he was sorry, and I just was not having it. So I cut them both off. Girl, the hairstyles and diddly wasn't that good. It was not that good to keep them around. Fuck. This is gonna be a quick story time of how my parents found my OnlyFans. So I had just recently broken up with my boyfriend, and my friends were trying to find ways to make me feel better. They were trying to tell me to go on Tinder and all these other dating apps to find a new man. I didn't want to find a new man more than I wanted to make him jealous. And so my friends were telling me a good way to get back at him is to post myself with another man. But I had a better idea. I was going to make an OnlyFans, and I was going to tell his friends about it and let them subscribe for free. And it did work. He sent me a big paragraph going off on me about it. I thought it was really funny, but anyways. So I had left one night with my friends. You know, they were just trying to take me out and make me feel a little bit better, just to try to make me feel better and get the recent breakup off my head. And I was living at home at the time. I had just turned 18. My parents were really strict, and they didn't even know that I had a boyfriend. So while I'm out with my friends, I get a text message from my mom telling me to get home now. I'm asking her what's going on, and she's telling me that I just need to get home because we need to talk. And so once I get home, I open the front door. I walk into the living room, and my ass was spread open right on the TV screen. So this is gonna be part 2 of how my parents found my OnlyFans. So I get home from hanging out with my friends, and I see my OnlyFans on the TV screen. My mom is acting like she just saw the Holy Ghost. My dad is shaking his head, just mad disappointed. For some reason, my little brother was sitting over there on the couch. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? What is this? Why would you put it on the TV? Our TV was a smart touchscreen TV, and you could connect your phone to the TV, but I didn't understand why it was on the TV screen with my little brother right there. So my mom's yelling at me like, so is this what we are? Is this what we do? And she's telling me if I'm going to be acting grown, then I'm going to have to find a different place to stay because I'm not about to represent our family like this. So I told her that it was just a quick way for me to make money, and she told me that I was lying. And then she proceeded to show me a text message that she got from my boyfriend telling her that I had let his friends subscribe for free and that I was going down the deep end and I need to be talked to.